Okay, I wanted to do this video. One of the things that I've been wanting to do, excuse that squeaky chair, is being able to run this to the iPad, which is possible. But because the way the routing is set up, and I've tried all kinds of things and still searching, the iPad will recognize it, but you only have one in and out, and it uses the same one to play the music back. So that's a problem. So let's just open this just so I can show you what I mean by it. I'll take you through why this is a thing that I'm concerned with. And we'll use this cable here just to make it easier. So here's AUM. I'm going to plug that in. And I'm going to plug this into the USB. Wait, this is the wrong cable. I apologize. I have two cables very similar, so I was trying to grab the wrong one. This is the right one. Okay, so there, plug it into the USB-C. Okay, and if you go here, settings, you'll see it didn't populate. So what I'm gonna do is turn it off, power back on. Okay. Maybe I need to close AUM and have it plugged up before. So what it does is it open it up, audio settings. Might be good to do it the right way. That would kind of help. So you got to put it on the USB, right? There. And it should connect, and it's not. Okay, so usually what it does, what you don't see it doing here, let me grab another cable and see if that cable is just maybe causing a problem. There's a trial and error thing for you to see. This is the actual cable that comes with the OP one. So we'll plug it in. It recognizes there is a cable there. Okay, so it was a bad cable, whatever. This is the actual cable, OP1 cable. So there you see, its output is OP1, input OP1. And it does not let you change that to any other thing because it's using this as an audio interface, right? As if I should push sound through it. The problem is, while it pushes sound through, when it plays the sound back, so for instance, I'll just show you. I'll put the hardware, here's the OP1. I don't want your ears to bleed, but you heard that. You can't run audio in here and out of here. It just doesn't work. It's not authentically a audio interface in that sense. They have it more like a field recorder, which hence the name OP1 Field, where you could go out in the field and capture stuff, or you could even play out to something. Because I had a Tascam Porta Capture 8 X8, and it was the same way. And I complained, and I ended up sending it back because I couldn't stand the fact that they keep advertising it as an audio interface, but an audio interface I think of as this, or the Duet, or something like that, where you can bring sound in and hear the sound back out of it. So that's the reason why this is an issue. So you heard the crazy feedback that it was given. All right, let's talk about the next thing. So I've been on the hunt. But the thing about the OP1 is it's tricky because it needs something that is able to switch between, if you plug directly into it, it says in the manual that it will actually allow you to play in, which is cool. And it does work. The problem is it only works with certain devices. And the reason is because the device has to be 44.1 kilohertz. And it needs to be able to switch on its own to 44.1 when you plug into the OP1, if that makes sense. So some devices will automatically switch and some don't. So that's where something like this will come into play. And I'm just going to turn it like this because I'm using a shorter cable, just because I'm demonstrating that it works. So I plug into the OP1. You'll see it powers this gear green. And I'm going to plug in, I don't want to plug in a guitar. Okay, I'll plug in a guitar. That's all I have right now that I could do. I'm going to plug in the guitar to this side over here. And the speaker, how am I going to get the speaker for you to hear it? I am going to have to, I can play it through, I'm tripping. I'm going to play it through here, through this speaker. So with OP1, you just hit the sample thing. Turn up the master here. This is the guitar. Switch, can you see my hand over here? No, you cannot. This is the master. This is the guitar. So where is it sending that signal? It's sending it back to the OP1, out the speaker, right? You could play here and then hook something up like a phone here. And then hook it up on this side, I believe, and then play into it. For instance, I'll show you what I mean. You know, I gotta make this where you can see it though. Let me see. There, that's a little bit better, right? You can see it. Okay, so like technically I could get this and I need, cable? This cable, right? Hook it there. There's a little 3.5 on this side. And I'm gonna have to turn this way because and you should be able to plug into here. But the problem is, it says in and out on this side, but the problem is I don't know if it's gonna really do. So I'm just gonna try this. We're gonna play here. And I'm gonna put koala in here just because it's something I can record to. And where's the input say? The microphone, iPad. So you can see my voice coming through there. It's picking up just off the iPad microphone. So it's not recording. If I play here, let's do this. Now, see, that's coming out of here. So you see what I'm saying? You can't use it that way. All right. So this thing comes into play is that if you have one that will adapt, you can record in using it to the OP1, which is cool if you want to sample and record in from your guitar, right? But the reality is, if I'm on the go and I'm trying to do something mobile, I'm not going to probably have a guitar with me. I probably have the iPad and be using instruments from the iPad into this, if that's what I choose, or a phone, right? So what I'm going to do now is hook this device to here. I'm going to get off of that hardware. Now you'll see the Go Mixer Pro is in there, right? Here's the problem. Of course, you can see I can press this, turn the volume up. You know what I don't have here? The volume on the iPad, I think, is down. Nope. Hold on a second. Oh, you know what it is? Hold on a second. Koala has to be on. And the headphone out is the same thing. So you see how you can, this one you can do that because the headphone out has, you see the loop back here is on. So I can plug a headphone in here. Now watch this. I'm going to plug in, give me this guy, right? Again, the same one you saw before. I'm going to plug in the headphone here. And then I'm going to plug this into the OP1. And we're going to put it on the line. Now watch. Shit. See? Sounds terrible, but. Okay. Just showing you that it does work. All right. So here's where I'm going to unplug this thing. Here's where I have an issue. I can make this work. And this will be a cool little setup. This thing's first of all, this thing, if you see this thing is bigger than what it looks on camera. Not camera. I'm trying to find something you can see to get an idea. That ain't gonna work. I'm using my phone right now. I can't show you a phone. I'm trying to find something very familiar that you can see. Here's a Roku TV remote. So you'll see it's about the same, close to the same length as this TV remote, lengthwise, right? But it's about, if I had to guess, I'm gonna say 4 or 5 inches wide, and it's literally a chunk of a block here is what it is. All right, so you get the sense of that it's not super. It could probably fit in your pocket. It's about half the size of an OP1 if you've ever seen one in person, and if you compare it to the iPad screen, the mini screen, it's pretty much as big as half of the mini screen. If you could take your mini screen and cut it in half, maybe a little more than half, that's about the size. Okay, so I tried to give you as many measurements. So here's the problem I have. The sound is not pro, okay? But that's the smallest of the worry, right? I could get over that. Here's where I really have a problem. I'm gonna have to unplug it and show you though. First off, I'm gonna get out of the sample mode. This is, can you see this? This is a micro USB. That's a USB-C. Now this thing does have the micro USB to the Lightning it comes with. It comes with one for USB-C, and it comes with one that is just like this, right? They give you those type of cables. This isn't the cable. This is just one that's like that, right? Because I'm not going to pull all the cables out. It does have battery operated if you're going to use the phantom power. Otherwise, you don't need it at all. If you're just using a regular dynamic mic or plugging in an instrument, you don't really need it. Or then you have two. Listen, the ports on here are great. This thing is laid out as a perfect solution. The sound is not. I would put the sound, if I had to go 1 to 5, 5 being the greatest, I'd put the sound about 3. That's about all I can give it, because it's really not great. It's just okay. It's usable, right? If you want to record. Here's where I have a problem. And I mentioned it. It's the two things. One, these knobs are super wiggly, which is weird because I'm like, it's a knob, but it only feels wiggly when I wiggle it, right? If I just turn it, it's not too bad. So I could deal with that. Here's the problem I just can't deal with. USB, micro USB. Look at this. I'm going to put it in here. I'm not going to do much. Hopefully you can see it. They got it recessed back in there, so I'm going to put it in. Watch this. You see that wiggling right there? I don't want to wiggle it too much because I'm not keeping this like that. That scares me because these aren't like $50. If they were like $50, who cares? This is like $160 for what? If the sound's kind of meh, if I might say so myself, it's okay. It's not great. And it's a USB, micro USB port. Like why would you, it's 2022, we're about to be in 2023. Why would you put that on there? And I do love Roland product. Like I said, you can use the SP44 as a interface. It works really well. I actually like the sound of it, everything. And this sounds okay. It's not like unusable, but it's just, why? Why couldn't they just put a little more, just a little bit more, just give a quality, either a USB-C or what was the other one? I'm not gonna lie, I would have loved even like that, like the ones that come with the MPC thing. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's a USB-B. Those are actually better because they would be more sturdy. But even like with the SP404 has the USB-C. Put the USB-C in this thing. Why would you not do that? It's a pro. I'm gonna put my fingers there. Pro mixer. So that's my biggest complaint. I will never say that this thing doesn't have the ports it needs. It's got everything. You got instruments, left, right. You can do that. Like you have the loop back feature. You got the headphone, which is also a headset, acts as a microphone too for you if you want to use that type of mic for podcasts or whatever. You got a pad for the guitar and the bass that you can turn on if you want. You got 2 lines in, so you could connect the phone or some iPad or something else to these lines and run it through. You got a guitar and bass slot, smartphone in and out. Not 100% sure on that one what it does. The phantom power to turn it on and off. Of course, this mic can be a mic plugged in, or it could be a right? So you could plug your guitar in there and use that if you wanted to. So the options are there. And it does run on 4 AAA batteries if you need that phantom power. If you don't need the phantom power, then don't worry about it, right? Just run that thing. And it's cool because what is cool about it is that the OP1 can actually power it. So you could technically use this with the OP1, have a mic. You don't need it with the OP1 because the OP1 field, well, the OP1 field you definitely don't, because the mic on here is better. And I think even the inputs are actually better. The problem I have with it is I just wish that it would be set up to where it could record in and I could hear it right back out. Use it, and I don't have to hear it through the speaker. I could just hear it so we don't get feedback. I just want to hear it, just be able to plug a headphone in and hear it from the headphones, whatever is coming in. So I could just create something, right? Record it and then listen to the recording back. Right now, if you try to do it, you're going to hear your drums coming bleeding back through your track. It's just not going to work. So that's my, I don't want to call it a rant. I think this thing has some potential. And if you're only using it for something simple, like just so you can hear your recordings or micing it out, and you need something really simple, this is actually a good device. I'm not mad at it. It's not too bad. It's made in China, even though I know Roland's made out of, or is based out of Japan, but it is made in China. But it is what it is, right? A lot of stuff's made in China. But anyway, that's not what I'm here for. Uh-oh, I just moved my, hold on a second. There we go. I was wondering why I was moving like that. Okay, so that's the end of this video. No more ranting about it. It is what it is. If you do to get that and you want to use your OP1, you go and you want to use your OP1 and then send that into the iPad, that works pretty good. You'll need that cable I told you about with the same cable that you would use for the SP to send sound into the SP. Or if you want to send sound out of the SP, it's the same cable. You can use that and then plug it into the end of this one and like record your drums into the OP. If that's your vibe, or you can do the drums in the OP. I like the OP for the synths more than the drums. The drums are just, to me, like an added bonus. So it makes it where you don't have to, you could start your ideal right here, get your other stuff going. And then whenever you get to where your drums are, which is why I want the iPad to work, because I actually want to do the drumming in the iPad and then allow this to do everything else. So this also acts as a MIDI controller. So Shift Comm, hit the advertise button, and then turn on the MIDI, pair it in your iPad, and it literally becomes your MIDI controller. Then you get tired of that, you want to just go in and record, then just record in some audio. So you could go back and forth. You could do the MIDI with the drums. Then you could go in and do your audio recording, which is what I do most of the time with it. I'll record into the SP404 and I'll record into the iPad or sometimes I just use the laptop and go straight into that. So you got options. The MPC is gone. If you're wondering why you don't see it, well, you can't see it anyway. Before, I think all you could see before was like the case over there. MPC is gone. I sold it. Pretty much got my money back that I paid for it. Bought it used. Once I found out that the VSTs are available, of course I found that out after I had already bought it. I realized I didn't need it because I already got this and I really like it for the VSTs that they had put out, the pianos and things. So I just got those and I'm fine with that. And it's cheaper for me. But that doesn't mean it isn't nice. I still respect it and it is a really nice piece of gear. If you are able to get that piece of gear. And if you can find, there's a lot of used ones. I went to like a Guitar Center. There's a ton of used ones out there. So don't feel like you got to buy new. Look around and find a good used one and you'll be just as happy. Promise. All right, that's it for this video. I probably spent way longer than that. How many? Okay, 20 minutes. I kept it kind of in a good time frame. All right, so that's the end of this video. I showed you a few things, kind of rant a little bit. This device has to go back, unfortunately. I can't justify that USB mini. I'm sorry, but Roland, come on now. You did great on the SP404. Excellent, no complaints. But that ain't it. Not for 2023 or 2022. Shoot, that ain't even it for past 5 years. Come on now. But anyway, all right, that's it. I'm keeping going otherwise. I'm out.